10 years ago, if you had invested in the US tech stocks instead of Nifty 50, you would have generated 70% more wealth. But the US stock market has performed exceptionally well in the last couple of years due to optimism on artificial intelligence, which is backed by solid results of these tech companies. So, has the US market become expensive now, or is there still an opportunity for us to invest in it? In this video, I'll answer all these questions. If you don't know me, I'm CA Vamika from The Wealth Palette, where we invest with clarity and confidence. In today's video, first we'll look at the major global stock markets and their indices. Second, why should you even consider investing in the international stock markets? Lastly, how to judge timing using two checks, index PE and market cap to GDP ratios. Okay, so the world's stock market capitalization is $130 trillion. What's surprising is that the United States is 50% of the global stock market, followed by China at 8%, Japan at 5%, Hong Kong at 5%. India is the fifth largest stock market at 4% of the world stock market at 5.3 trillion USD. Now that we know the top 5 stock markets globally, let's look at the most famous indices of US because that is 50% of the global stock market. United States has Nasdaq 100, which is made up of the top 100 non-financial companies. This index includes the biggest global tech giants like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, Meta, Alphabet, Tesla. So 60% of the index is made of tech companies. Second important index is S&P 500, which includes 500 of the largest US companies by market capitalization. This index covers about 80% of the total US stock market capitalization. China has 3 popular indices called Shanghai Composite Index, CSI 300 and Shenzhen Composite Index. Japan has Nikkei, Hong Kong has Hang Seng, and India of course has Nifty and Sensex. But why has everyone been so positive on India when we are only 4% of the global stock market? Because look at the GDP growth rate of all these countries. GDP is short for Gross Domestic Product, which is basically the total output of goods and services generated by a country. India is the fastest growing country in the whole world, right now at 6.5% annual GDP growth rate, surpassing China, which is growing at 5.2% annually. That means since India is growing the fastest, earnings of individual companies should ideally also grow at this pace or at a higher pace than this. Does that mean that India has given the highest returns in the last 3 or 10 years because it is the fastest growing economy? That brings us to the first reason why we should consider investing in the global stock markets for higher returns than the Indian stock market. In the last 10 years, US tech index Nasdaq gave 19% returns annually, while Nifty 50 TRI gave 13%. That's a 6% difference. Let's look at how these numbers make sense with the help of an example. If you had invested 1 lakh rupees lump sum in both Nifty 50 and Nasdaq 100 10 years ago, how much would it compound to? Nifty 50 would compound to almost 3.3 lakhs in 10 years, while Nasdaq would be 75% higher at 5.8 lakhs. So the Nasdaq has clearly performed well. But why not focus on the stock markets other than US, that is China, Hong Kong or Japan? That is because Shanghai and Hong Kong have only been performing in the last 1 year, majorly because of government intervention to boost their stock markets and renewed interest of foreign investors. And the high performance is also majorly on account of significant PE re-rate or increase. That means more than the earnings growth of the companies of these stock markets, the perception of these companies has improved, which does not really give us confidence on the long-term performance and growth of these companies. Also, Shanghai Composite and Hang Seng have given low single-digit returns in the last 3 and 10 years. Next, let's look at Japan. Nikkei has actually performed great in the last 5 years as companies exposed to the global growth theme like semiconductor chips, automotive and consumer electronics posted good earnings. These returns are quite good for an economy which is actually growing its GDP at 1 or 2% per year. But we don't know if these returns seen in the last few years will sustain, as the returns historically have not been consistent. The GDP growth rate of Japan is 1 to 2%, which is quite modest, and the overall stock markets may also give moderate returns after the last 5 years print. So clearly, from consistency of returns, the US stock market stand out compared to all other global stock markets. There's also an added gain because the rupee has depreciated against the US dollar by 3% compounded annually. So Indian investors get this benefit additionally when they sell their USD investments. Second reason to consider investing in the global stock market is to participate in the growth of industries that may not be well represented in India, such as advanced technology. Look at the top 10 companies of the world by market capitalization. The top 7 companies are technology companies. They are famously called the Magnificent Seven, in short M7 or Mag 7. The reason for the US stock market performing so well, especially Nasdaq 100, is because of great results of the tech companies in the last couple of years, such as Nvidia and Microsoft have performed exceptionally well with consistent innovations in the field of artificial intelligence and cloud computing. Also, Google with YouTube and Meta with Instagram and WhatsApp are the leaders in the social media and advertising space. Third reason to consider investing in global stocks is to reduce the risk of being invested in a single geography. So, if there are geopolitical changes in one geography, your other country's performance can balance your portfolio returns. I have calculated the correlation between the daily returns of Nifty 50 and Nasdaq 100 for the last 15 years. The correlation comes out to be 24% between Nifty 50 and Nasdaq 100. Even for S&P 500, the correlation is low at 27%. It indicates a weak positive correlation between these two variables. That is good for us because we want the correlation between these two returns to be as low as possible so that when one underperforms, the other one performs better and balances the overall portfolio. Quick recap of reasons to invest in the global stock markets. First is higher returns. Second is exposure to tech companies which are underrepresented in India. And lastly, risk management by investing in geographies with low correlation between their returns. But I'll show you two important metrics through which you can decide any time in the future whether the market is expensive right now, reasonably valued or cheap. Let's now look at how should you decide whether to invest in a geography or not by looking at two important valuation metrics. First is PE ratio of the index and second is the market cap to GDP ratio. Let's look at the PE ratio of Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500. Just like stocks, index also have a price to earnings ratio, which means how much price are you willing to pay for 1 rupee of the index earnings. While the S&P 500 average PE of last 25 years is at 25x, today the S&P 500 PE ratio is at 29x. This means that the market valuation is somewhat above its recent long-term average. In the last 10 years, current PE of 29x is the second highest PE post-COVID. In US, they also use a metric called Shiller PE ratio. It's same as PE ratio. The only difference is that the E of earnings removes the impact of inflation and the 10-year average of this adjusted earnings is taken as E. As you can see, in the last 20 years, this is only the second time the Shiller PE ratio has touched 38x. After the last time it touched 38x in November 2021, there was a correction in Shiller PE to 29x in the next 7 months. So based on both PE ratios, the market seems to be above its long-term average and hence it is in the overvalued zone. Second metric to look at is the Buffett indicator, which is market cap to GDP. Market cap to GDP basically means how is that country's stock market valued compared to the country's overall GDP. US has a market cap to GDP of 2x right now, which means compared to its GDP output, the stock market is valued at 2 times. The last time US market cap to GDP went this high was during COVID in 2021, post which there was a steep fall to 1.5x in 2022. So even by this metric, US seems to be overvalued right now. For now, looking at both PE and market cap to GDP, the US market seems to be expensive. But I think that we can start SIP of small amounts in the US market so that we can get access to the tech industry and the AI revolution, which is happening right now. Because it is impossible to time the markets and plan our entry. We should review our US investments every 6 months. If the valuations become reasonable, maybe we can increase our SIP and double down on our portfolio. But if they get crazier, then we can pause and wait. But if you think that the valuations are steep and it's better to wait and watch and see if they correct soon, that approach also seems rational. Both options are a matter of your personal choice and how comfortable are you with the current valuations. So, what do you think? Would you want to start doing small SIP amounts right now to not miss out on the AI revolution? Or you think that the current valuations are a bubble waiting to burst? Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you want me to make a video on how to invest in the global stock market from India through ETFs, mutual funds, Gift City, or apps like IND Money, then comment global and I'll make a detailed video on this very soon. Quick recap before we wind up. We saw that Indian investors should definitely take exposure in the global stock markets for better returns, access to tech industry, and to safeguard against volatility in one geography. However, we saw that the valuations of the US market seem expensive right now. So maybe we can start SIP in small amounts or wait and watch to see if the valuations correct. That brings us to the end. Hope you liked this video and it added value to your investing journey. If you liked this video, hit like and share it with fellow investors so that all of us together can become empowered and informed investors. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.